Hello and welcome to Chump Change, episode 12, a very special episode. Today, Pree and I are in Pasadena/LA, California, for we were here for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series, or YCS. How you doing today, Pree?
I brought the mat out of his frame.
Where's the what?
You pass me the mat on the floor.
You want the tube?
Yeah, give me the mat on the floor so I could.
There you go.
I can show the camera. We got the video component today. Yeah, we got the video component today. We're in the hotel room.
Mm-hmm. We got the hotel room with the couch just for Chump Change, actually.
Yeah, we were gonna get a double bed, but Lorenzo said he wanted to cuddle with me instead and get the couch for the shoot.
Jesus Christ.
So I had to live with it for the night, two nights. Let's see here. Is it upside down?
Nope. Right side up.
But yeah, no, this is our YCS mat that we got from the.
We both have one.
From thing. YCS 250.
Yep. We also got some commemorative coins, a bunch of booster packs, and among other things. And I'll probably show those off in a social post. We tried to do an unboxing or reveal of all that stuff, but the video footage got corrupted, so.
Oh no.
C'est la vie. But yeah, we're here. We did it. We are leaving in about 2 hours.
We gotta hurry up before we gotta check out.
Yeah, the guy's gonna come in to knock on the door and say, time to check out. It's gonna be mid-recording.
Oh no.
So, we do want to talk about YCS, but we wanted to go through some little topics first before that. Just because this will be a very nerd-heavy podcast episode. So we wanted to give any of you who might not be interested in Yu-Gi-Oh! A chance to, hang out with us for a second before we get into all that.
And for our first topic today...
Is it mine?
Yep.
All right, hold on. I wrote it very, very, very specially to bamboozle Pree, and it did. I want to talk about the dichotomy between being a good friend, but being embarrassed or embarrassing yourself, and being a bad friend, but then feeling guilty. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is it's currently Sunday morning. I ran into Pree Tuesday night. But before I ran into him, I was driving through our hometown to go drop off my dog Lucy off, or pick her up from my family's house. And when I was passing by, his girlfriend's family happens to live right next to where my family lives. So I saw a car that pulled up to their house that I hadn't seen before. And, I was like, oh man, that's weird. I've never seen them with that model of car. And I didn't want to think anything of it. But I was like, no, because of where our families live, I should check on him or check on her family. So I call him up. It's ringing for a little bit, and he's probably like, man, why is this guy calling me at 11 at night? I get him on the horn. I'm like, hey, man, I know it's not any of my business. I'm not trying to be weird about it. But does so-and-so's family have, like, someone house-sitting or something? Because he had told me a week before that her family was going to be on vacation, or they're going to leave. So I was like, oh, wait. Do they have, like, a house sitter, or do they have pets that need to be, like, checked on? And he was like, no, why? And I was like, oh, I saw this model truck pull up to their house literally just now. He was like, which model truck? I'm like, this one. And he's like, oh, that's me. And I'm just like, I've never seen this man in that truck before. So he got me. He got me good. And I was like, all right, man. Glad to hear everything's okay. But I had something to give him for this tournament, so I turned around. I was like, hey, let me drop this off to you real quick. I gave him the stuff. We talked for like a couple minutes, and then I skedaddled to go pick up my dog. And my conundrum there was, I felt embarrassed. I very much felt like a goober because, like, oh man, I overreacted. Everything was fine. But the flip side of that coin is, if I didn't reach out to check if that car was supposed to be there or if the family was home, that very much could have been someone pulled up to the house in the location that it was in is kind of prime for doing that, I think. someone pulled up to that house and they could have broken in, they could have taken stuff. And I would have heard about it eventually because, you know, we talk quite often. It would have been like, oh, you know, my girlfriend's family, their house got broken into.
Yep.
And then I would have been like, if I didn't say anything or bring it up, I would have been like, oh, yeah, I saw that.
Or just be like,
I would have had to live with it and then never say anything. Because, like, I look like an ass for recognizing there was a vehicle there and not saying anything. Or I have to be guilty because I didn't do anything. But then because I did do something, I walked away feeling, like, embarrassed. Because, like, oh, man, I feel like I was a goober. I overreacted. So my question to you, sir, is... damned if you do, damned if you don't. Is it better to do the right thing at your own expense than to have not done anything good at all? And then live with it.
I think the better way to put it here. Sorry, I'm a little peaky. I'm gonna move this back here. I would say not damned if you do, damned if you don't. More like damn, I'm embarrassed if it's the wrong thing that was supposed to happen or that did happen.
Yeah.
Or have a guilty conscience. I would rather feel silly or feel embarrassed or have the guy laugh at me.
Mm.
You know, I've actually read I want to say it's one of those like Reddit posts.
Yeah.
But it was about this couple got married and their family had a whole bunch of elderly.
Yeah.
So the husband wanted to get a ambulance or like have like emergency personnel
like on standby.
Yeah, like on standby just in case here.
Right.
And everyone in the wife's family was laughing at him. They were, you don't need that. You know, no one's gonna need that. They're all okay.
Yeah.
And hey, he was able to get them on that every single day. They ended up needing it. Happy that the ambulance was there.
Yeah.
That situation, in my opinion, let's escalate it from, okay, there's a potentially suspicious car to, hey, sometimes it's better to be prepared than to not be.
Right. Yeah, my takeaway is I'm glad like no one got hurt or nothing was like stolen.
Yeah.
But I couldn't help but feel embarrassed because like it's those social anxiety, like those weird those little moments that's like, was I a normal human in this instance?
I mean, if roles were reversed and I was the guy watching,
yeah,
I'd most definitely be like, hey man, your family own X car?
Yeah. Well, that feels like more of a leap in a question.
Yeah.
Because I'm not unfamiliar with your girlfriend's family, but it's like,
yeah,
that's something that I don't interact with her family enough to be like, hey, you guys own this kind of car, right?
Yeah, I'm very much like hey man, well, I wouldn't lead with, hey man, do you guys own this car? I would lead more with, hey man, just passing by the neighborhood, just making sure that nothing suspicious is going on.
Yeah, well, and that's why I asked, like, hey, you said that they're out of town. Are they still out of town, or do they have a house sitter? Because you know my family lives right next to her family. Yeah. So I knew talking to you about it, instead of like calling her directly, it would be more like, you would know why I'm in the area.
Yeah, very very much a delivery scenario.
Yeah. Cool. I'm glad that even though everything was okay, I did the morally and as a friend good thing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I want us to all be good people in life.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to go run in and save a guy from a burning building.
No.
But hey, you know what? As long as you give a call to somebody and you try and you attempt.
Yeah, just make sure everything's in order.
I do think that's way more appreciated.
Yeah.
In my school, we call it not anymore training. But yeah, not anymore.
All right. Well, do you have anything for us before we get into the YCS talk?
Yeah, actually. So, just a side note here. I am going to talk about the free breakfast scenario that I've experienced for the past 2 days. Part of the trip in quotation marks, but I think it's not part of YCS. I could talk about it. So, For the past 3 days we've been here, 3 mornings. I've been going to the breakfast, the free breakfast.
And he's super excited for it every time.
It's the all-you-can-eat buffet, except I paid for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So every morning I've been going over there. Lorenzo hasn't gone with me the last two breakfasts, but that's okay. He was with me on day one. The first day, I was eating all of the cereal, the waffles, the little Danish cookies that they were giving out. I put some in my pocket. I brought some to the room.
Yeah, we still have them in our mini fridge. They're probably going to go with us.
They're probably going to go with us if we don't eat it before we leave. I don't know. How do you feel about taking complimentary items?
It's rough, right? Because it's very circumstantial. If I'm at Costco and I'm hungry, I might take more than one sausage on a toothpick.
Yeah.
Because, like, what's the guy going to say? No, you've had too many sausage on a toothpick.
I am not going to lie with you, man. I've never gone back for a second sample at Costco.
I have, but that was like a 13-hour day at work. I went to Costco in the morning with my family and I hadn't eaten yet.
Yeah.
So it was like, all right, I'm not going to wait until we get pizza, and I also don't want pizza to be the first thing I eat in 13 hours.
Yeah, I've never done that. I've never done that one in specific.
Yeah.
But I have done. So my sister worked for a hotel, and what she was telling me was the majority of where she worked, or the standard, I guess, they would have to basically reset the rooms. So it was almost, you kind of just throw away whatever is there. Like if the lotion looks a little off, then you kind of got to throw it away and give a fresh one. Excuse me. For the little travel size, like lotions and shampoos, I'm putting that in my bag. Is that morally okay for you?
I think so, yeah, just because you'd use it anyways.
I already threw them in the bag.
That's something that Nana actually used to do. You know Nana.
Yep, I know Nana.
Nana had a vast collection of complimentary soaps and stuff just because in the nature of her work, she traveled the country a lot. So she was always in a hotel, and I imagine she's just like, oh, hey, I'm using this thing. I'm going to just bring it with me because I already started using it.
See, what I don't like is you go to McDonald's and you ask for 1,000 ketchup packets. See, if you ask for like a couple extra napkins, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, hey, man, what if you're in the car, you got to blow your nose?
Yeah.
What are you doing with these ketchup packets? Are you just like refilling your ketchup at home? You're not eating that in the car. You're not eating all 1,000 ketchup packets in the car.
So it's funny. There's another podcast that I watch from Rooster Teeth Productions called Face Jam. It's essentially like they review limited time offer like foods and stuff.
Yeah.
Their mascot it's their audio tech in a monkey mask. And this dude is like crazy about sauces and stuff. They call him the sauce monkey.
Yeah. And
every time they need ketchup, I think this dude pulls Whataburger ketchup out of his car. Just plethoras of ketchups and sauces.
See, what I'm saying in specific is maybe a little different than what the sauce man's pulling out.
Sauce monkey.
Sauce monkey, all right? I'm referring to you ask for extra.
Yeah, he asks for extra.
I'm like...
This dude goes out of his way to retrieve as much sauce each time they go out to get food for that video or for that podcast.
See, for me, it's if I go to In-N-Out and I have let's say I have 4 burgers, right, for me and my family. I'm not going to ask for 12 sauces, 12 spreads. I might ask for 8. 8's pushing it. You would ask for all 20, huh?
I wouldn't. Not me personally. I also don't like Thousand Island sauce like that.
Yeah, but... just
in general, no. I actually have a problem with my girlfriend. She works at a McDonald's. She'll bring me buffalo sauce with my nuggets or my McChickens, whatever she gets me.
Yeah.
But she'll bring like 50 million. Like she emptied half of the. You used to work there too. Like the black carton where you grab the sauce for the drive-thru.
Yeah.
She would dump half of the carton into my bag.
She said, "Look, I don't want to hear this guy complain that we don't got the sauce. We got the sauce."
Well, the problem is you only need to do that one time for me to have sauce for like a month. I'm not ripping through McDonald's buffalo sauce, 20 packets per sitting.
Yeah, I don't like McDonald's buffalo sauce.
I actually like it. It's fine.
Yeah, for me that's not my favorite buffalo. I actually all of the little like bottle buffalo sauce,
Yeah.
those I'm not really with either. For me, I'm more like if they got buffalo chicken wings, I'll eat it.
Yeah.
But very much I don't know. I wouldn't. That's not my go-to.
I think that I like buffalo sauce more than barbecue or ranch.
Yes.
So anywhere I can get it, I'll do it. Like I think Jack in the Box is the best just because it has
Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box has Frank's Red Hot as their buffalo sauce. So that's cool. But there's definitely places that have a lot better, especially places that I know that custom make their own, like home make their own buffalo sauce.
Yeah.
I think those places are a lot better. And obviously you're not going to beat like a place that specializes in wings, like a Round Table or a Wingstop. Like, yeah, it's still chain fast food, but it's a sauce specific to that company.
Yeah.
Which I think is always going to be better than just, hey, I prepackaged this buffalo sauce. It's nice and creamy, but it has like no flavor.
No, what I'm very sorry, whenever I go to restaurants,
Yeah.
and they have like ketchup bottles and like their sauces,
Yeah.
a lot of them I've seen where they have the sugar packet that has their nice like logo, like repackaged,
Yeah.
repurposed.
But it's just sweet and low.
It's actually just the same thing except they have their logo on.
Yeah.
it. I'm not okay with that. I don't understand the appeal on that one.
It's just branding. I mean, it's easier to be like, hey, we're gonna brand this as our thing instead of we're gonna use other people's things. Because I think certain restaurants do have to pay for that.
See, I'm thinking like ketchup rebrand, kind of odd.
I will say, of all like the regular restaurant, I can only think of Olive Garden has custom packaging though.
Yeah.
Like it's not just sweet and low packet with the Olive Garden logo. It's like a tube with like olive print on it or something. Like it's different. The packaging looks different.
Yeah.
They could have changed it. I don't know, but
yeah. No. See, I like I like Cholula. Do you have Cholula? No, I don't have Cholula.
No,
Oh, do you have Tabasco? Look here, dude. If you're gonna ask me for every individual name of the sauce that you want,
yeah. Well, no, because some places carry multiple sauces.
Well, did you say it's like?
I'm not gonna ever ask you for hot sauce. I will ask for the hot sauce I want specifically. See, I don't think every hot sauce goes good. Like if I'm at Black Bear Diner,
yeah,
I'm gonna get into that in a second. By the way, I'm not gonna ask you for hot sauce because I don't want Black Bear hot sauce. If you have Cholula or Tabasco for my eggs, I would like those instead.
See, I feel like I know it's not a placebo, but it's very much a, hey man, the yellow packet we both know is yellow, and yellow usually indicates Splenda.
Yeah.
Don't ask me if I have Splenda in specific. I'm sorry, I don't.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
That one is very much hey, sugar, sugar, and they're color coded for a reason. Everyone needs to abide by that standard.
Blue is equal.
Yeah.
Come on now.
No, the thing that really gets me is like because I mentioned Black Bear specifically. I don't like it when they do custom sauces, and the sauces just don't taste the way that they're supposed to, like what they're emulating. Like Black Bear Diner's A1 sauce is very ketchup-y.
Yeah, the steak sauce, yeah.
Yeah, the steak sauce is very ketchup-y, where A1 itself and other restaurants that try and emulate A1, they'll lean more vinegary, or it's literally just A1 sauce. So like that's something that always bothered me with going to Black Bear, because like, hey, do you guys have steak sauce? Yeah, we have Black Bear sauce. I'm like, no, I don't want Black Bear sauce. Do you just by chance do you carry this other thing? That one I can understand for both parties, because it's like, hey, your thing doesn't taste great.
Yeah.
But like the exceptions, like ketchup, like the ketchup bottle.
Ketchup's ketchup.
Ketchup's ketchup. Unless you're the guy that drinks the freaking was it the vegan ketchup or the no sugar added ketchup?
Or you're like me and you go to the signature select side of ketchup.
Or you want banana ketchup?
Or you want banana ketchup.
I can understand why you would ask for those specifically. If you're over there asking at any different diner for ketchup and they gave you the house bottle, just use it.
Ketchup's ketchup, bro.
Specialty sauces, I understand asking for.
Or bring your own.
No, I'm not. I'm never gonna be that guy that just whips out. Oh man, you don't have anyone? Cool. Costco bottle.
You know, just a comment. Just an idea. Sorry. How are you against the no outside food or drinks allowed in this establishment?
No. There's a very specific reason why I'm not.
Go ahead.
Not everyone carries a non-coffee energy drink. So for me, if I'm at a restaurant, I have been told to finish my drink outside before entering a restaurant with my girlfriend. And I said, dude, it's a Red Bull. You don't even sell this.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are you going to harass me for my 20-ounce drink? I'm going to buy a drink.
Yeah.
I'm sitting down at a restaurant. I'm going to be here longer than the 1/8 of this can that's left is going to support me.
You know, let's just say, okay, maybe there's a safety regulation here. Like, all right, maybe we don't know what's in your flask.
Yeah.
That one, I understand the argument.
Yeah.
I walk in with my boba to the Japanese, Korean barbecue, whatever barbecue spot.
Mm-hmm.
They say, hey, no outside food or drink. I look at the guy. I'm like, okay, can I buy a drink from you? And then I'm going to sit down with my drink? He said, no. You know what I did? I just drank water that day. I was willing to purchase a beverage just to, you know,
be allowed to play.
You know, but
no, because that's all it is, really. It's like it's the same thing as the signs in McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
We don't want you loitering. So it's like I can't buy Burger King and go sit down with my girlfriend at McDonald's on her lunch break.
That one I'm against. In a restaurant, if you're gonna bring a No, not a competitor, but like if you're gonna try to bring in like food for yourself, like let's say that's a pizza spot and you're trying to give yourself a hamburger, I'm like, okay, maybe you don't like pizza. That's kind of fair.
Specifically for my example though, it's like because my girlfriend does work there, we don't always want to eat there or eat what's there.
Yeah.
So I'll bring Burger King, but I'll still buy a drink. So it's like, hey, I'm not here to screw around. Like they know me.
Yeah. For me, it's more of a if like one or two people, like the majority of your party is eating at the restaurant.
Yeah.
I don't see an issue. The best example I can give is if you have a kid who's very picky.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, dude, the kid only eats Jack in the Box. I'm sorry that I'm walking into your establishment with Jack in the Box, but that's for him.
Yeah.
That one I feel like should be a little more
like acceptable. Like Trader Joe's or Outback Steakhouse. Like, hey, the kid only eats grilled Chick-fil-A nuggets.
Right.
He needs his Chick-fil-A nuggets, or he's gonna. Whew.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like
very understandable
there's
arguments, accommodating children. I think if it's an establishment, because you and I frequent Korean, Japanese, Chinese, like all these different Asian restaurants, where that is the faux pas. Don't bring outside stuff.
Yeah.
My argument to all of them is always going to be, do you sell this thing that I'm drinking and also that's almost gone? Let me just finish it. I'll take the trash with me. I want to finish my drink that you don't even sell.
Yeah.
And then especially because you and I do this, we'll top it off by buying something anyways.
Yeah, I would just buy a drink to supplement.
Yeah, like, hey, I'm not gonna screw around and only drink water at your establishment just to get around it. Like, I'll buy a Pepsi or whatever. Yeah, no. But to shoehorn back into the original conversation, complimentary stuff, I think within reason, it's okay to take it. Like, I think hotel toiletries are fine. I've never taken them just because I've always packed my own toiletries. I've always used specific shampoos or body washes and stuff, so I never needed to.
I'm not saying to steal the towels, okay?
Yeah, don't steal towels. Don't steal light bulbs. I've seen someone steal light bulbs. If it's complimentary, like, I know some places do, when they have the mini bar set up, they'll give you, like, the first couple waters free. Right? Like, the first set that gets put in there, that's free. Everything after that and the liquor, it costs money.
Wow.
Or some places in Vegas, even they'll give you all the snacks for free, but the liquor's super expensive. In that case, yeah, go for it. If it's just there for you to use it. Like, I poured OJ and a Red Bull into a plastic cup that was sitting on our counter earlier. Like, it's there for me to use. I'll use it. I'm not going to take all of them, though, without reason.
Yeah, I'm not going to refill my my Hydro Flask with orange juice from the complimentary kitchen.
Yeah. If you run into the complimentary breakfast last second to fill your 60 ounce or
Nah, dude. Okay, they were every coffee drinker.
Yeah,
I've seen like 7 of them the past 3 days. They always have like this gigantic like 64 ounce.
Yeah,
and they're like pumping the coffee in there. I'm like, come on, man. I know it's complimentary, but I wouldn't do that.
See, so
this isn't a soft drink.
So
Coca-Cola remix. You know what I mean?
My lovely Nana, she likes to drink coffee quite a bit.
We got a coffee maker.
Yeah, we do have a coffee maker. You know the way my Nana gets around needing more coffee? She just brings a coffee maker with her.
Yeah,
Nana has I think it's a battery-powered coffee grinder.
Yeah.
And she literally brings her coffee pot and her coffee maker everywhere with her.
Yeah, no, my grandma does the same thing.
Yeah.
She has her own little
it's like
coffee guy.
It's like, hey, cool, we're at the hotel. You guys want to go get coffee at the breakfast? I want my coffee. I'm going to make it my way.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. Bring your own hot sauce.
Yeah. Well, and I was talking about that, right? Because they had breakfast burritos. They had there's a bunch of things that, man, if we hit Walmart and I could have had a couple like convenient sauces or something,
yeah,
I would have enjoyed this a little better. Because we went to Costco, we bought pizza.
Yeah, we didn't have any.
No hot sauce or ranch.
Yeah, we're just eating pizza.
Yeah. Granted,
we should have talked about that on the last podcast when I was going through the pizza toppings. Did we? Did we talk about ranch?
I think we might have mentioned it. I don't remember. It's a question for chat. Let us know if we talked about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the first day when we bought the Costco pizza was great. Second and third day, pizza would have been a little better with hot sauce or ranch. Especially
because we just put it in the microwave.
Yeah. And also we just put it in the fridge raw.
The box doesn't fit in the fridge.
It's a mini fridge.
So I ended up, we had a couple extra plates because they gave us a set when we got the pizza. I stuck like half of a pizza, a quarter of the pizza.
Literally just went.
I just sandwiched both of them like on top of each other. I just carefully slid it in the fridge at an angle because I didn't want it to touch the grimy doors or walls of the fridge.
Surprisingly, he did fit half a pizza on a plate much smaller than the slices, and it did not touch the top of the shelf, the sides, or the door. I was very impressed, honestly.
I was a little scared because the plates were smaller than the pizza.
Yeah. So you thought it might sag eventually?
I was thinking when we put it in the microwave and we heat it up, it's just going to all just droop down.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed, I was actually like pressing down the sides of my pizza so it would slope already. So when it heated up, the bottom would fall before the edges fall.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I just threw mine in the microwave.
Now, if it was like an actual Costco slice of pizza, the way that they gave you by the slice, it absolutely would have touched.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it's okay to take complimentary stuff. Just in the case of like the hometown breakfast buffet that you had over here, don't take all the prepackaged Danishes and Bear Claws.
There's a reason why they don't put them all out for you to take.
Most places do. They just know what's up.
They know that I'm going to take all of the Go-Gurts.
Yeah.
They don't give lids for your little plastic cups either.
Little plastic cups?
Yeah, like...
like the juices.
They have a little
stuff?
orange juice? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Probably because they don't want people dumping it in their hydro flask, coming back and
refilling it.
Yeah. Drink it there. Even though people took it to the rooms anyways.
You want to get into the why we're here on the trip so far?
All right. Welcome to the YCS talk. We actually recorded the podcast already, and we kind of did it in a timeline, so I want to do that again. Our timeline starts with Thursday.
What happened to that footage, you ask? It got corrupted.
We've been experiencing some technical difficulties without our regular recording setup. But yeah, so our timeline starts with Thursday. Pree and I, Thursday morning, like in the wee hours in the morning, we were actually playing games like a Rainbow Six Siege and stuff really late because we both knew we had a little bit of stuff to do in the morning, but ultimately we could do it, go back to sleep, and ride it out until the midday into the night because we weren't planning until leaving Thursday at midnight.
Yeah, like Thursday, 11:59. Yeah.
Yeah. So
leaving Friday morning.
So Pree goes to bed around what, 1 or 2? You actually stayed up a little later than you normally do?
Yeah, on that Wednesday, yeah.
So he stayed up till 1 or 2 Thursday morning. I didn't get to bed till like 5 or 6 because I was prepping editing stuff for this trip so I could edit as we recorded stuff. And I was like, okay, 5 o'clock, going to bed. I wake up at 8 a.m. I got a couple hours of sleep. All hell had broken loose in my personal circle and my friend circle, not related to Pree, like the mutual circle we have. So separate friend circle, hell in a handbasket with my friend or my family because I have a city inspection coming up for the apartment / office, and a maintenance guy wanted to come by on Friday. And I said, hey, man, there's really nothing I need you to fix right now. I took care of the only thing that I needed to be done. So, we can just come back to this later when I'm back.
Yeah.
I was like, my girlfriend doesn't really feel comfortable being alone with you there. That was a lie. That was so she could get the dog out of the house. So a dude was insisting. He was like, no, the property manager said I need to, come check it out. He's doing his job. I can't be mad at him for that. I'm like, hey, what time do you need to be here? And he's like, I could be there around 2:30. I'm like, okay. At first I ask my girlfriend to just leave the door unlocked, leave the house early with the dog, right? So no one sees her exiting the building with the dog.
Yeah.
And that very fast turned in, because she's trying to get a new job, that turned into, hey, I kind of need to be available for if they say, hey, come do your intake. I was like,
come do your intern or interview.
Yeah.
Intern.
Well, she already did the interview. She needs to do like the
the onboarding.
Onboarding, like what we did for safety.
Yeah, onboarding. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, you know what? That's fair. I can't hold you back because I'm going on a trip. Mom, auntie, where you guys at? Auntie was at the hospital in Sacramento. Not for her, thank God. And the reason she was there, everyone's okay. But auntie's in Sacramento, won't be home for a couple days.
Yeah.
Crap. Okay. Mom, what are you doing? I'm working from home. I got some errands to run for tomorrow. I'm like, cool. Can I drop off the dog tonight? Leave her in the feed her breakfast. Leave her in the crate while you do your errands. Come home.
Yeah.
Because my little brother was home too, so she had to return home that day. I knew she did. So I'm like, hey, just go run your errands. If anything, little brother can play with dog. I don't care.
Yeah, not leave dog in the crate.
Well,
we like to give the dog some room to enjoy himself.
Dog has sharp claws right now, so we don't want her scratching up my little brother too much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so I was like,
hey, little kid, little dog.
Yeah, little kid, little dog. So we were like, hey, if you don't want him to rough up the kid, or if you don't want my dog to rough up the kid, just put her in a crate because my mom was going to be gone like 2 hours. And then there was going to be a break in between that because she was going to bring my brother lunch. So it's like really gone an hour, then gone an hour. So I was like, yeah, that's fine. Just run your errands. I'll check in with you guys through my trip. And then I'm like, oh, crap. There's the city inspection on Monday. You and I have been planning either to get home. We're going home earlier than we thought we were.
Yeah, we're going home in about checkout time within the next 3 hours.
Yeah. But our worst case scenario was we're both back Monday morning in early in the morning.
Yeah, like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning.
That way you're home for what you need to do Monday morning. I'm home for what I need to do Monday morning. So I was like, crap. So my mom was able to help me take the dog for now. I still got to call her and figure out Monday, but it sounds like it's okay. while I'm running around doing all of that, I forgot because it was Thursday. That's normally when I would help my girlfriend with going to do laundry and stuff like that because our washer broke.
Yeah.
So we have to go to the wash house. And I was like, crap, I forgot we needed to do laundry because I had clean laundry for this trip. I just needed to go buy a fresh pair of socks and underwear. I'm like, crap, you're right. Let's load up the car. Let's grab the dog. Let's go do laundry real quick. Let's run our errands. I'll take a nap. Then I can run the dog to where I need to take her.
Yeah.
In between doing all of that, we ended up getting to Target. We got stuck in Target for a little bit because I didn't know this. The town where I live, they actually locked up all of the toiletries and stuff.
And then you gotta click the help button.
You gotta like put your hand under a scanner, like boop boop. And at Safeway, they implemented that before we left, and it was like there's a walkie system, and it's like help on aisle, bing boom. And I kept sitting there for a minute. I was like, beep, 5 minutes, beep, 10 minutes, beep, 20 minutes. Where's the person?
I feel like that's every Walmart, Target I've ever been to, at least.
Yeah. So I get through laundry, buying toiletries and stuff for the trip. What else to do? I had something else I did that day too. There was a small crisis with my friend that ended up being fine. I gotta go check on them later. And we cleaned the house.
Yeah.
We cleaned the house top to bottom because the inspection and the maintenance guy. So by the time we finished all of this, I'm probably looking at 6 p.m. Mind you, I only slept 2 hours, and I woke up at 8 a.m. It's 6 p.m. now.
We were originally planning to leave at 12 p.m. or 11:59, 12 p.m.
A.m. Or no, p.m. You're right.
11:59 p.m., 12 a.m.
Yeah. So I'm about 5-6 hours away from him already being at my house. Luckily, he had to push it back an hour. He's like, hey, I have to leave at midnight. I'm like, okay, that works for me. It's a 6-7 hour drive. We'll still make it on time.
Yeah.
I get home. We bought some Jack in the Box. I ate dinner early, and I was like, I need to sleep right now. I die. I go lay in my bed. I die for like 3 hours. Okay, I'm on 5 hours sleep. We can rock this out. I bought Red Bull when he showed up to my house. We went to the 7-Eleven. I bought Red Bull. I bought Buffalo Chicken Roller.
Buffalo Chicken Roller.
Buffalo Chicken Roller.
And a taquito? Only Buffalo Chicken Roller.
No, I got 2 Buffalo Chicken Rollers for both of us.
Buffalo Chicken Rollers.
Oh, and then OJ.
And orange juice.
So we had OJ and Red Bull and Buffalo Chicken Roller.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm you're over here the entire time. You're like, hey man, if you're tired, go ahead, pass out. It's fine.
Yep.
I'm like, no, I have to film. I have to I want to be a good co-pilot. By the way, if you take a trip and you're sitting in the passenger seat, be a good co-pilot. Give the driver some company unless they say, hey, stop talking.
He also just said that he needed to record footage. It's pitch black. There's not many lights where we were.
Well, our original plan was we were supposed to record in the cab, like in the car. We're supposed to turn on the interior lights and record every now and then and do skits and like bits.
And then I realized how dangerous that is while you're driving. And I was like, maybe we shouldn't do that.
My interpretation was, hey, I had to work. So I needed to be frosty for this. I drank a Red Bull. We got on the road.
Yeah.
And then I think the next part of our adventure is probably your favorite. A couple hours into the drive.
A couple hours into the drive.
First stop and what happened before?
I usually stop. I believe it's Los Baños.
Yeah.
I usually stop at Los Baños and I go to the
Loves.
The Loves, yeah, the Loves gas station. I was hoping that we were early enough because usually Arby's is open. Unfortunately, we got there. Arby's was closed. I quick get a 3-gallon refill while I'm there, anyways. Right?
What else did we get there?
before we got there, before we actually pulled up to the gas station, I had a mini oh crap moment. As we were going into the exit, taking the exit, uh, I'm going the right way. There was a guy going the wrong way coming at us. I was a little concerned, not for my own safety, but for his safety or her. I have no idea what was driving that car.
Whom?
Hopefully,
Not what. Who?
hopefully they're okay.
Yeah. I definitely was a lot concerned after the fact because little bit of a spoiler for later in the story. We ended up meeting some people and we were talking to them. They came from the same area we came from, and they both saw the wrong way driver and something we'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah. So.
Which means if they were that far behind us and they still saw the wrong way driver, that guy or girl, whoever that was, they were going for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Let's see here. So, taking the exit, we got the wrong way driver. We got to the gas station. We filled up. While we were there, I got buffalo chicken roller and a taquito.
Mind you, Pree hadn't eaten his buffalo chicken roller yet until we got out of the car and he started gassing up. Munched on it
first.
Yeah,
buffalo chicken roller.
He munched on it while it was cold because he was trying to stay focused on the road.
Yeah, so we walk in. I get another buffalo chicken roller. Nice hot toasty.
Yeah.
Right, and then we look around the Lowe's. They usually got some pretty cool knickknacks.
No Prime Energy.
No Prime Energy. And then so we hop out. We go back into the car. We enjoy our buffalo chicken roller.
Yeah, enjoy is a word.
Did you enjoy your buffalo chicken roller?
I think mine was just sitting out for a couple hours because I'm not going to say it tasted rancid, but it did not taste like it should have.
I enjoyed my hot buffalo chicken roller. Maybe my standards are a lot lower than buffalo chicken roller that you had.
I expect my buffalo chicken roller to be crispy on the outside, soft on the inside, not rubbery on the inside,
rubber inside,
soggy on the outside.
Yeah,
yeah. That one was definitely like okay, cool. I ate gas station food. That's nothing new. I used to travel all the time.
Yeah.
If we flew here, it would have been no different. I would have eaten some crap out of a gas station or a airport terminal.
Yeah. So and then what was next? We take the rest of the trip. We're hit in LA. We're
no 2 hours. 2 hours after Love's.
Yeah, 2 hours after Love's. We saw a really bright light.
Thought it might have been EMS or like something's going on ahead construction. There was a lot of construction on the Grapevine. Pree's like, oh man, what's that? We get like half a mile further down, we get closer to it. It's a semi-truck half melted, or a semi-truck trailer that's half melted.
Been on fire for quite some time.
Yeah, like the metal supports for the left half of it and the back frame were just completely gone. And we don't know if it was empty or if it was hauling something. Either way, there was nothing distinguishable except the rolling door and the right panel of the trailer.
I'm very happy that it's spring and it isn't dry season.
Yeah, dude.
That would have been a mess.
Yeah, we just had a storm right before we left.
Yeah, that would have been a mess.
Yeah, honestly.
It's going to be like the last LA trip I took where it was fire season.
I was going to say, it literally would have been like your last trip that you took down here with our other friend.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys were in a Motel Corolla, but you got stuck out there.
Yep.
And you had to emergency get a hotel.
Emergency get a hotel, and I got the last room. But yeah, going back to this trip.
Yeah. So we saw that. Luckily, the trucker was okay. It appeared he was able to detach the truck and drive a bit forward while he waited for emergency services. Unfortunately, poor guy was 70-something miles in both directions from the nearest towns.
Yep.
But, that's the way the cookie crumbles. And...
all right, so after that, we now hit the 5-lane highway.
Yeah.
In LA. By this time, me and Lorenzo were both pretty exhausted. I'm not going to say that I was sleeping on the road, but I will admit that I was like kind of dozing off, like in and out here and there.
Yeah.
Glad that I was just in spaces where it was pretty big and it wasn't too crowded.
Yeah. I
People
think
were able to maneuver.
Yeah. I think the saving grace there is that had you and I not, like, normally we talk when we drive.
Yeah.
I think we were talking a lot more than we normally would. I feel like part of it's we understood, like, if you and I don't keep talking, we're gonna fall asleep.
Yeah, when we're like the last
we got quiet at the last stretch.
Yeah, we got quiet at the end here. We didn't finish as strong as we should have.
But so we get into the like throwing distance of LA, and I had a little cars weren't the only thing making skid marks moment, because Pree was behind like I think it was like a dirt hauler, like a big truck. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna move into lane 4. Gets over. There's a lumber truck right in front of the hauler.
Do you know what I find interesting? When we say lumber truck, the Final Destination scene plays in my head. I want to know, why do they allow that? Like, why do they allow such extension from the edge of their trailer?
Yeah.
Out. It's very hard to see that.
Well, part of it is you're supposed to have the flag on it, and he did have the flag on it. The unfortunate part for us there was if we were going zoom in my room, we wouldn't have had enough time to see
that.
Yeah, right?
See the log right in my face.
If you just try to get over, you didn't see the log, you would have just tried to get in between both the trucks.
Yeah.
But that's also why we have speed limit laws. Like, you don't do stuff like that. So yeah, we got around that truck, and I was looking at him talking. I was like, oh, da-da-da-da. I look this way. There's a giant log, like a palm tree size log,
truck,
swaying off of the thing. And it didn't sway into our lane, but it was moving enough to make me go.
Yeah, very weird. I was like, going back to the kind of odd. It's not like really secure.
Yeah, like a this way bungee cord or something, keeping it.
Yeah, like bungee corded around.
Yeah,
kind of trying to solidify.
Yeah, like a shock mount, like it keeps it like.
Yeah. Keep it moving.
I mean, it makes sense if you do need something of that size to be transported. You're very limited on what you. Like, I could say the same thing about prefab homes.
Yeah.
Have you ever driven next to a prefab home?
Well, they actually have a truck that goes behind the home.
Yeah.
That actually has the flags, like, hey,
maybe that hauler was supposed to be.
Maybe that hauler was supposed to have one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so after this moment, we were planning to.
We were gonna go straight to the convention center.
Yeah, we're planning to go straight to the convention center because we had to check in.
Yeah. The way that Thursday worked out for us was travel, get there by 7-8, and then registration time was 11. We'll get into why that would have been an issue later.
Yeah, so it was supposed to be we get into LA, go to the convention center.
And then check-in for hotel was 3 p.m.
Yeah, so we're going to just hang out until it was time to go to the hotel. After dozing off, me and Lorenzo come to the conclusion of, hey, we should probably
take a
nap somewhere.
Yeah.
From this time, we're like 10 minutes away from the convention center, and we just make the judgment of
double or nothing. Go to the hotel, sleep in the parking lot.
Yeah, sleep in the parking lot in the hotel rather than sleep in the parking lot of random LA parking lot.
We're also both full of a lot of water, Red Bull, and stuff, so we both had to use the restroom really bad.
Yeah, so since we switched to the hotel, I'd added roughly another 20-30 minutes.
No, I think it went from 10 to like 22 minutes.
Yeah,
it wasn't that bad.
So it was roughly some additional time there. That to me felt like forever as I was half dozing off.
But I think when we got back on the street, both of us were able to wake up, though.
Yeah, when we were back on the street, it was fine. But like just because we were going straight and like nothing was like changing.
Yeah.
Like it was pretty constant.
We technically couldn't even see the skyline of LA yet from where we were at.
Yeah, it was
like we knew we were in LA. We passed Magic Mountain. We couldn't see the high rises yet, so that one was very much all we see is dirt, construction yards, warehouses.
Yeah.
And once we got into the streets, it was like, okay, we're in a familiar environment now. Let's just get there.
Yeah, so we ended up skedaddling on down to the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
I walk in first. I get out the car first.
Yeah.
I walk in. I walk up to the guy at the counter. I was like, "Hey, man, I'm here for reservation for Lorenzo." And he was like, "Okay, I'm not able to find it." And I was like, "Okay, do you have a bathroom, by the way?"
As I walked in.
So I was like, he's like, I was like, "Oh, okay, by the way, he can help you with that. Can I use the bathroom?" So he helps me out in the bathroom real quick.
Well,
Huh?
he helps you out in the bathroom.
Yeah, he helps me out by opening the door to the bathroom.
Okay.
Yeah, he opens the door for the bathroom for me. And
so he comes back to the front desk and he's like, oh, what was the name again on the reservation? I'm like, Lorenzo. He said Lorenzo, right? And he's like, yeah. I didn't have anything for that. Do you have a reservation number and your ID? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I pull out my phone, I log into our work email, and I give him the reservation number and I give him my ID. And mind you, the guy's really nice. We've talked to him a bunch since we got here. I think he's super chill. He's like, oh, Lorenzo's the first name. And I think to myself,
what a wonderful world.
I wanted to slap my forehead because not only is that the front desk guy faux pas, the fact that Pree and him had the exchange, I didn't realize how brief it was. But the fact that they had the exchange and the terminology last name, first name did not come up was like...
Yeah, hey, man, what I would think is if you don't see the last name, you would like, hey, maybe we'll check
process of elimination.
We'll check the other side. We both were clear that Lorenzo was the name.
Yeah. So, the guy was very accommodating to us too. It was like, hey, our reservation's technically for 3 p.m. check-in. Would it be okay if we got in early? And he's like, yeah, let me see what I can do for you. I have one room of that you requested available. I need to charge you $40 to come in early though. Pree happens to walk out as I'm talking about this. He's like, what's the status? I'm like, he said $40. We can check in 5 hours early.
I'm like, hot dog, I'm in.
Pree's like, Batman, credit card. He throws it at me.
Right.
He's like, run it.
And behind the register, behind the front desk,
yeah,
is the entrance to the breakfast buffet. I asked him, like, hey man, when does the breakfast close? He's like, you got about an hour and a half. I said, oh,
hot dog.
Oh, baby. I'm going to get some free breakfast. So we ended up going to the room, put all of our stuff down. I'm like, Lorenzo.
I used the restroom in the room.
We got to go get this free breakfast.
Yeah.
We end up going for the free breakfast. I got some cereal. I got some coffee. I got some orange juice.
Mind you, so this is a Quality Inn in Rosemead, California. This is very much a place, if you were here, you'd understand that this is targeted towards old people. I say that because the cereal they offered was bland Cheerios, bland cornflakes, and Raisin Bran.
Raisin Bran was flavored or sugared.
I wanted to get the Raisin Bran, but I also saw that there was there was cornflakes. I was like, oh, that must be Frosted Flakes for the kids. Wasn't. It was cornflakes. Which was fine because Pree had threw some sugar packets at me from his coffee. He was like, here. I'm like, yeah, that is how that works. But the thing that really solidified that this is an old people place to me, and we touched on this, was the pre-packaged from Walmart or Safeway Danish/bear claw combos that were being put in this case that looked like a Subway cookie box, but if you took the front panel out.
I love those cookies from Subway, by the way.
It's a shame they didn't have the cookies.
Yeah, no, so with all those cool Danishes, they were only giving them out, like we said, like three at a time.
Yeah.
I, took one, sat down at the table. I'm like, there's only one left. Someone else takes that one, they refill it. I take another one, put it at the table.
No. You took two originally. You took one for me.
Yeah. That's the second one.
Yeah. After the social post, it did not leave his side.
Yeah, I left it. I left mine there, my original one. we ate the waffles. We made waffles.
Well, we left and came back.
Yeah. So, yeah. We left and came back. So I took my second one with me out.
Yeah.
We come back a second time. So like, early breakfast into late breakfast type of deal.
Yeah, we had like half an hour left. We were planning to go take a nap to rest, but we didn't really get a chance to do the waffles because other people were making waffles. So we were like, you know what? Let's go back. Let's make waffles. I'm not full yet. So we go back. We start making waffles. Before I even get in there to make my waffle, there's already 3 Danishes and an OJ sitting at the table we already sat at.
I was in there like swimwear, baby.
Man. And it's funny because I was looking at the nice little lady that was like restocking. I looked at her. She looked at me. I looked at him. She looked at him. I looked back at her. Me and her knew what happened. We didn't have to see it happen. We both looked back at him, back at each other. This fat bastard. And I joke with him, well, because the way the waffle setup is pre-measure cup, pour the batter in the cup, put it in the waffle maker, flip it so the timer starts. We both start our waffles, and I'm like, man, she's gonna take your Danishes and Bear Claw back.
I had to make sure I put my orange juice there.
So she knew.
So she knows that I'm coming back for those.
It's funny because I don't know if it was conscious or not, but you actually put your back to the waffle maker after I said that. You were looking towards the table the entire time after that. And I don't know if it was intentional or not, but I wanted to wait till now to talk about it because I was like, that's funny if it's not intentional.
It's been a while since I've actually had a waffle maker, like used at the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
I over poured mine the first time.
Yeah, he was a little drippy on the sides.
Yeah, it was drippy on the sides.
It got hard because of the entire thing was hot.
It wasn't even like hard. It was crispy on the outside, like undercooked. Like it's not cooked at all on the inside.
Was yours undercooked?
Very doughy. No, not the waffle stuff, but the edges.
Oh yeah.
Because it doesn't like direct heat.
Well, no, because you had crispy like bits hanging off after you did it.
Yeah, that's just what I'm saying.
It looked like a crown, kind of.
Yeah, there was more than like there was the crispy bits and then there was the undercooked like raw bits.
Okay, I didn't realize there were still raw bits hanging off too.
I was like, man, that was tough.
But
we finished the waffles.
Yeah.
Moving on, we go back to the room. We take a nap for about an hour or two, and then we had to go to check in.
Yeah.
Spent 30 minutes.
Ooh wee. That's all I have to say about that. So I've added this part to the vlog, so I'll do some director's commentary on it. I sped up the clips to 200% and I still had to cut it.
Wow.
Because that's how long those lines were. So to give you guys perspective, LA, much like San Jose, New York, San Francisco, your city blocks are pretty long, especially when you have a big building like the convention center. From the front of, was that South Hall?
Yeah.
From the front doors, like the 3 double doors of South Hall, you went all the way down the sidewalk to the street and it wrapped around a little when we first drove up. We saw that line and we were like, there's no way that's the Yu-Gi-Oh line.
No way.
Because there was also banners. One of them had Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
For WWE Raw WrestleMania. So once we figured out that WrestleMania was also happening this weekend, we said, surely that's WrestleMania. Surely that has to be the WrestleMania line.
We're thinking check in, you come in, do your thing, get out.
Yeah. So
we passed by this guy waving a flag that said $40 parking.
Oh yeah, across the street from that line there was
he was like, come on in, $40 parking.
But there was also a guy waving the exact same flag, but it said 30 for the same parking lot.
I was very lost.
So Pree and I we ended up looping around a city block and we found $10 parking all day. Nice secured garage, so that was cool. We walked to the convention center, but from where we started, we ended up at North Hall. And there was people with deck boxes and stuff going towards North Hall. So we were like, surely that's where it is. Yep. That must be where they're going. But there was some what's the word? There's ushers. There was ushers there. Usher baby.
Mm-hmm.
And we walked up to them after overhearing people talk about Raw and Yu-Gi-Oh. So we're like, let's ask before we go all the way down to North Hall and
be wrong.
Yeah, be wrong. So we asked them, and they're like, "Oh, you're looking for the Yu-Gi-Oh tournament? That's going to be across the street at South Hall."
Oh no.
We both looked at each other and we were like, "Ugh."
Oh no, we're gonna have to wait in the sun. In the long line we just drove by.
Mind you, we're probably looking at about noon 30-ish because we ended up getting there a little late. So we get to the back of the line, and that's the first clip I think I put in the vlog. And the line's definitely a lot shorter than it was, but it's still pretty long. We eventually get in after 30, 40 minutes of waiting.
Yeah, and all of the food vendors were walking by us.
Oh yeah, there was hot dog street vendors. There was a guy with 6 tubs of gelato. There was a guy selling paletas or popsicles and chips and water.
Yeah, the guy had his little ice cream cart instead of ice cream truck. Really cool.
So a lot of people. Pree wanted to get a hot dog. I told him to get it, but he ended up on the phone while we were walking past them. So
bacon wrap hot dog.
Didn't get his hot dog.
Man.
He got a hot dog later though at Costco.
Yep, I got hot dog at
Costco. So we get inside. This is I felt like I was playing Danganronpa. There was despair at every point going further into this event. We went from a half a mile long line. We get inside the front doors of the convention hall. All right, everybody, there's 4 lines. Line up. Where they're going to check your COVID vaccination card and your ID. Have them ready.
I didn't have my COVID vaccination card.
We'll get into that in a second. All 4 lines were probably, by the time we got there, it wasn't all of the people, but they were each just as long as the line we were in originally. So we've essentially doubled the distance that we waited in line now. But that one moves a lot faster. It was as simple as, show me your cards. I put wristband on the wrist that you show me the cards with. They were very fast about it. Shout out to the LA Convention Center staff. Very professional, very fast. Pree didn't have his because he was like, man, I didn't think I need my vaccination card.
I thought I needed the card.
Luckily, he had a picture of it, so we were okay.
I got by.
Then we walk upstairs into Hall H.
I don't know what hall that is.
Hall H, dude.
We walked in. It was very big. I was like, I've never really been to an expo or anything like that. That's this major.
The room was like football field size.
I was like, wow, this is great. But there was a line that was wrapping around
the perimeter of the hall.
Yeah, I was wrapping around the building, and I was like, okay, well, I kind of need to use the restroom. I see the mail sign all the way in the back of the building.
Yeah, luckily there was bathrooms
in the hall.
Yeah, in the hall. So this is the point where I'm just like, dude, we're gonna be here all day, and I'm glad. When we got to the hotel room, we also changed. I went down here in slides with socks, sweatpants, and a hoodie.
Yeah,
I changed into regular clothes because I'm like, you know what? If we film anything while we're out, we should look presentable.
Yeah, I was ready to just put my sweatpants on, just walk in and be like, hey, here's my deck, check in, see you later.
That's when I truly despaired because I'm like, dude. Think of the way that a river flows into a pond with no outlet. What's longer, the river or the pond itself that has to collect all of it? That's essentially what happened there because they didn't even start registration right away. Pre-registration, I'm sorry. It wasn't even actual registration for people who didn't pre-register online. It was pre-registration.
The online registration.
Because everyone pre-registered online, the line for pre-registration was longer than the actual registration line itself.
I was so confused.
It was insane because it's like there should have just been a tap or a QR code like, hey, are you here? Cool.
You know what's crazy? During one of my duels, I was talking to the guy I was playing against.
Yeah.
I asked him, I was like, hey, how was your check-in process? And he said, I got there around like 2 or 3. Basically, when if you didn't pre-register, you can register now.
Yeah.
When that opened, he said, "Yeah, there was no one in line. I kind of just walked up to the front and I just gave him my thing."
Like we could have slept a full sleep and still made it on time to register.
Yeah, I don't.
But there was vendors.
Yeah.
And we got to practice.
Yeah, that's a solid point. Yeah.
So we get through the line eventually. We get to the front. I have a clip of Pree doing his registration. He walks up. They hand him a bunch of goodies, a couple booster packs.
Oh, the mat.
The mat, a center field card, and a commemorative coin. You'll see all of those in a social post too. So he does that. The guy next to where the lady that took him says, "Hey, come here. I'll do yours." I'm like, "Cool, thank you." And we go sit down because we are dead at this point.
Sleeping.
We have essentially stood in 3 miles of line.
And drove 8 hours of drive.
And you drove technically 9 hours of drive because you had to get to my house.
Yeah.
So we're both dead at this point. I had barely slept at all. He was able to get an hour of sleep in between us getting here and actually going to the convention center. So that was fine. And we're like, you know what? Let's just collect ourselves. I had bought this dual disc. We bought a couple little knickknacks for memorabilia's sake. And we sat down to collect ourselves and figure out how we we're going to carry it because we also didn't bring our bags because we thought it was going to be an in and out adventure. So we were like, okay, let's sit down real quick. Let's regroup. We'll grab our stuff and we'll leave. We sit down and these dudes come from the crowd of people who were already like practicing. And they ended up being from the same area as us. And that was cool. And we just played a couple games. Pree and I were introduced to what the current cards were. Not that it helped.
Cashier.
But we were able to get some practice and they were genuinely cool people. Like it was fun dueling them.
Yeah, and then after that, we were very tired. They said, "Hey, we're gonna go get KBBQ." I said, "Man, you know that's what we're gonna do. We didn't do that.
No,
we went straight to Costco. Straight to Costco food court, and I got gas as well.
Yeah,
we got a let's big chump the big chump here.
Mm-hmm.
We got 3 chicken bake, 2 hot dogs, and a pizza. We're some big chumps.
Mm.
Not saying that we ate it all in one sitting.
Yeah.
I had to put it in the fridge.
Yeah, as we described earlier with the pizza Tetris.
Pizza Tetris. Yeah, no, so then I think that concludes that day for Friday. That concludes the Friday of check-in.
We tried to do some filming. As we said earlier, some footage got corrupted, but after that, that was pretty much it. I started editing this, I started editing the vlog. You needed to pass out, so we turned off the lights. I let you go to sleep. I stayed up for like another 30, 40 minutes to start the video, and then I passed out. And that sleep, I haven't probably gone like almost 24 hours that sleepless or that exhausted from doing stuff and not sleeping.
Yeah.
In a long time, like probably since we were teenagers. Like mid-teenagers.
So now we feel like old guys, huh?
Yeah, we feel like old guys for sure.
And how old are we? Like 20s?
23 next month.
Yeah.
But like since we haven't done nothing like this since we were like 16.
Yeah.
I literally all I remember is I closed my eyes and I woke up at 6:30 to your alarm. It was instant.
We went to sleep around 10 o'clock. No?
Yeah.
So we had like a roughly 8 hours of sleep. A little less, probably.
It was like I felt great after that though.
Yeah, you actually got to go to sleep.
Like my body was like, dude, thank you for actually closing your eyes.
You know?
So we go to sleep, we wake up, we shower, 3 S's from E40.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, shower, and shave. Then I cut my hair.
Didn't cut his hair.
Doesn't have hair.
I shaved though.
Yeah. I trimmed my mustache.
Yep. Then we went off to the free breakfast.
Again.
Free breakfast, baby.
Or actually, no, you went to free breakfast while I showered.
Yeah.
Because we were starting to get a little low on time there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we woke up at 6:30. I was editing. I forget what you did. Were you recording yet, or?
I think I was setting everything up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you wanted to make sure all the equipment was working when you got back.
Yeah.
So we were setting up to work, and he showered while I was editing still. I went to shower. He went to go eat. I had a Red Bull. And then we skedaddled off to the convention hall. And what a wild ride that was.
We left the hotel. We got there roughly like 20 minutes to get from the car to the convention center.
It was a 5-minute walk from the same parking garage to the convention hall.
And they said that as soon as the hour hit, duels should have been started.
Yeah.
We walk in. The day before, they told us, I asked one of the judges, they said, yeah, there's going to be a board.
Yeah.
With all of the names of all of your names.
Organized by last name, by the way, not first name.
They're organized by last name, with all of where your table is going to be. And that's about it, where your table is going to be.
Yeah.
Very much like your middle school, high school schedule.
Yeah. Walk up to the board, see where you place, which class you're in.
Yeah, so I look at Lorenzo. Lorenzo's last name is less than higher on the list than me.
Yeah, my name starts with a C. The way that they did it, it was like if you ever been to a convention hall, those easel poster boards. So it was A to C, D to F, G to I, H I J, so on. Like
so on.
I was doing it backwards, like because it was weird. It started with A and then it went backwards.
Yeah.
But essentially every 3 letters was a board.
Yeah. So I split off from him. I don't know what I'm doing. Right. I have to use the bathroom
again.
So I rush to my board. I took a picture of my name and where I was supposed to sit. I went to the bathroom immediately. I come out the bathroom. I have like 4 minutes until we're supposed to start.
Yeah.
So I'm calling Lorenzo. I text Lorenzo. I'm like, hey, man, where's the tables at? Like, what's the table numbers?
Yeah, mind you, I also didn't know. I ended up running into a judge while I was looking around. He was like, oh, to make it easy, the way that it works is a rectangle. The top left is where the stage was. The top of that corner is where the vendors were. The table closest to that corner was seat 1 or table 1. It went along the length of the room down, and then it snaked back around. But the way that it snaked, if you were still at the same table, like 1 was next to like 38.
Yeah, it was kind of odd.
Like, I very much would have liked it to be structured like, hey, here's table 1, your match A, match B, match C.
Yeah, just like an airport.
Yeah, like it would have been so much easier.
The way that they did it, they had almost how like the edge of this looks. Yeah. So they had like
a placard.
They had like the little name tag that you make in elementary school, you know, to show your teacher what your name is.
Yeah, branded with the YCS stuff, and then it had in Sharpie it was number 327.
Right, and that's fine, but they put it in the middle of the table, and it's pretty small.
And also, they were putting the slips that you're required to sign if you win or lose on top of those placards.
Yeah, so I wasn't able to tell. Like, I have to walk up to the table. If someone was sitting there, I kind of got to like lean over a shoulder to look at what table that table is. I was so lost. I was like, okay, well, my number is 127 or whatever. My first one.
My first one was like 30 something.
Yeah, so I was like, man, Lorenzo, hopefully...
3090 Lorenzo.
Yeah, hopefully I'm going to go to the restroom, and the table is going to be right there.
Not the case. I joked. I ended up running into him after he got out. I was trying to call him when he texted me, because I had talked to that judge. So I ended up running into him, and I'm like, hey, man, this is about to start. Do you know where you're going? He's like, yeah, I'm like 100 something. I'm like, oh. Because I was joking with him earlier, like, yeah, watch you go to the bathroom, want to be next to the bathroom, and you're going to be by the stage. He was by the stage. So he had to skedaddle all the way through the crowd to the front of the room, and then I ended up next to the bathroom.
Man, crazy.
So we ended up making it in time. We both started our duels. How was your duel, man?
So I will start. I'll start. That's fine. So when I got to the table, I was very frazzled. I was very nervous. I was very anxious. I opened up my deck box. I put my deck on the table, and then I'm trying to like get my notepad and my pen because I thought we needed it. And then I got my phone to do the thing. And then the guy I was playing against, he looks at me. He's like, "Hey, bud, you might want to just flip your deck over. I can kind of see what your deck is." I was like,
because you did bottom up.
I was like, oh, I'm sorry, my bad. So I flip it over. He's like, no, that was for you, by the way. It's okay, relax. I was like, oh man, I can't believe I just messed that up. Anyways,
not that your deck is
not that it's
his deck is very distinguishable because he's playing an older archetype. And by the way, this is the nerd part of the podcast now.
Yeah, because I play Monarchs, I don't run an extra deck anyways.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, dude, I can be playing like one of 7 decks.
Yeah.
That you'll probably see.
Like a very rare occurrence, even for older Yu-Gi-Oh, like the original series. Very rare to see someone not have anything in terms of special monsters to summon.
Yeah, I didn't have an extra deck, so
which ended up kind of working for you later.
So I had my side deck to the side. The guy was really cool. He got his jersey on. I'm intimidated.
Professional.
Seems like a cool guy.
DeMonte.
Yeah, DeMonte he seems like a really cool guy.
Shout out DeMonte.
Really cool guy. We get into it. This turn 1. He goes first. He does a whole bunch of boom bop bop pow, and then there's this big Kashtira Rise Heart on the field. I have no idea what it was doing. He was like, "Hey, you got to banish this. You got to set this over there. You don't got an extra deck. Oh my goodness." I was like, "Okay." Needless to say, I lost the first game of that set. Turn it into game 2.
Yeah.
Going into game 2, I was like, okay, I have to put all of my marbles into turn 1, and I need to make sure that I Vanity's Fiend this guy, like domain something,
Essentially, for those of you, if you're still sticking around, you don't play Yu-Gi-Oh. The cards he just said, he's trying to make it so that the person can't summon a big monster ever.
The other guy can't play the game is basically what I'm trying to
do. The whole point of what he does is, hey, I'm going to summon my stuff, and the stuff that I summon makes it so you can't play.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
So I ended up, I lost game 1 of that set. Going into game 2, I went first, and I didn't draw that. I kind of just sat there, and then I was looking at him. He was looking at me. He was like,
I was looking at him.
Yeah.
And he looked at me.
Yeah. See, and then he just took his cards. The way that you indicate that you're attacking something, you kind of just like the card.
Just like Master Duel, like it lifts and the.
Yeah. So, needless to say, I lost game 2 and I lost the set.
Yeah.
And,
match 1.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I lost. I'm gonna go see where Lorenzo's at. As I'm walking by, I see a mom recording her kid. Before we got here, they actually said on the website that there's no recording allowed.
No. That was email.
Oh, email.
I had reached out to the event people because of what we're doing.
Yeah.
We wanted to see like, hey, are we going to have the opportunity to film inside the event hall? Or is that like we need to relocate when the camera turns on?
Yeah.
If you watch the vlog, I didn't listen. But
yeah, no. So it was like I didn't want to put anyone in there that's like it's recognizable.
Yeah.
So we did do a lot more of like the blurring and all that.
Yeah, the background. If there's any faces, it's essentially I made it so the camera is focused on us. Thanks AI.
Yeah. So I was like, I need to go find Lorenzo.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can take some shots of him dueling.
Yeah.
And that would be pretty cool. So like to actually like get some of the event in.
Yeah.
So I actually ended up finding him. He was still playing. I lost in about 10 minutes. There's 45 minutes per each set.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, there's Lorenzo. So I'm walking behind him. I'm recording him from like the empty walkway. And I like go to the other side. Same thing.
I was crying.
How was your game?
So I also played against a Kashtira deck. Lo and behold, the deck that we weren't ready for was the deck everyone wanted to use.
Hey man, it's the best of the best.
The problem with a Kashtira deck, the thing that he didn't describe that they do is, essentially they make it so that your cards are unusable. There are some decks where normally if the way that they get rid of your cards, they would be usable, but they make you put those cards away face down.
banished.
Which essentially means because if a judge was watching, because the opponent and the judge cannot determine what those cards are, they cannot be played, essentially. Now, if a card says, pick a card from the banish zone, for instance, you could do that because you can distinguish it's a card. But if it's like, use a Melfi Rabbit to do this, you can't do it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what the name is.
Yeah.
So, essentially, the way that my deck plays is I'm supposed to throw all the marbles into all the plays I do, and I can borrow from my graveyard after I throw away some cards. Because I didn't have that, I could beat the boss monster on the deck, but I had nothing extra to keep going.
To actually hit the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did a little bit of damage every game, but it was just I didn't have enough steam to keep going.
Yeah, you were poking him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were poking him. And
I was poking him, and he was slapping me.
Yeah, no, see, you were over there trying to fight with your sword.
Yeah.
That guy had sword and shield.
No, he had a bazooka.
Oh, that's how it felt for you?
Yeah.
He had a bazooka?
Yeah. Well, because I was getting hit for, 24, 25 attack points per hit?
See, it's crazy. All of my guys are also extremely huge like that, too.
Yeah. But for him, he doesn't block me out the same way that they do. So it's like, when we play together, I can still do something.
Yeah.
So I lost game 1 as well, or match 1 as well. I lost both my games back to back. It was cool though. Like it was the dude's first YCS as well. He flew in from Canada. I welcomed him, even though Canada's not real, so I don't know where he's from. But he was very like chill. We ended up talking for a little bit after, and he gave me and Pree the rundown. Like, hey, I used to play in other tournaments. You usually, if you lose more than 2, you're just done. There's no way to proceed to the following day. So what ended up happening is I lost my second game, and I was convinced I was out at that point. Or I lost the second match, and I was convinced I was out.
Yeah, so the second match for me, well, just to kind of put some more context here. So after game 1, or after the first set, there's a little break in the middle.
Like school, there's a 15-minute intermission.
Yeah, there's intermission because they have, at the end of each duel, they give you a piece of paper that you have to go submit to the front.
Yeah, you sign. Both players sign it. They were. You guys mark who won,
and then the winner takes that up to the front.
Yeah, so
they turns it in.
They needed time to take all the ballots and wait for people to finish.
Yeah,
because some people used more than the 45 minutes, and they had to process all of that and then upload it to a website for the pairings or print it out and post it.
Yeah, so going into the start of game 2, our set 2, we had online pairings.
Yeah.
Online pairings were cool, so it was just, instead of you walking to the board.
Yeah, you put in your ID number from Konami and...
Yeah, on the website.
Yeah, and you go ahead and like...
You got your next opponent, this is the table.
Yeah, here's his name, here's the person's name, here's the table, you guys... GG, shake my hand.
Yeah, so set 2, I meet my guy. Set 2 guy's pretty cool. I got to face Trap Tricks.
Yeah.
I got to face another cool deck. It sucks because all of the decks that I face nowadays are very floodgate, which basically means the field is full.
Yeah.
And the back row is usually full. My deck has like 1 card on the field at a time type of deck.
Yeah.
I can't stop them.
You know what would have been good?
Huh.
Yusenju.
I can't stop them. They can stop me. Very easily they can stop me.
Yeah.
That guy was really cool though. I lost just both games, just like back to back. And I was like, all right, well, you know what? Time to go find Lorenzo.
Yeah. So like I said, I lost match 2 as well. That guy also used, spoiler, all 3 people used Cashteras.
Yeah, so going into set 3.
Well, here, my match 2 was cool because I got to talk more with the people around me this time.
There you go.
And that was fun. You know, we were chopping it up because we had some extra time in between the matches starting because people still needed to fill in their seats.
Yeah.
So we were chopping it up. Dude was a little reserved at first, but we broke the ice and we were talking. He's a TCG player that stopped Yu-Gi-Oh! He was playing One Piece and Digimon and he came back. So I was like, okay, cool, welcome back. And then it was like, welcome to your first YCS. I hope it's been okay to you. I'm like, yeah, it's been fun. I've been, unfortunately, I'm playing the same deck every time, but I'm learning about the deck, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Because now I can go to a different tournament and I'll be more informed. Unfortunately, there was an event that soured me a little bit, and the judge was a little harsh in the delivery when I asked them about something. The thing that I asked felt like it wasn't cheating to ask for that information. It was something related to the name of a card on the field. And essentially the judge was like, hey, if you're not doing a play, I can't tell you anything. And the guy that was playing with me was even like, after they left, obviously, the guy that was playing with me, he was like, they shouldn't have been that rough with you about it. Like, you were just asking about information that's already public. And I was like, it bummed me out. I was very discouraged by it, but eventually after the entire event, I was like, they were just there doing their job. I get it. I've had to work at a place where I had to deal with a lot of people, managing them or just helping people, a lot of them. And it can get overwhelming, or it could just be tedious, because a lot of it is there's children or there's people who aren't informed about their own cards, and 50 people raising their hand at the same time for help. So it is what it is, but he saw it on my face. It definitely soured my experience for a bit there.
I just want to put it in there. When we started, they were expecting how many people? How many duelists?
I think we were supposed to have like 2048.
Yeah.
We ended up with 2411.
No, like 34.
No. We ended up with 2411 by the start of match 2.
Yeah.
And then when they officially said start, Dan Green, Mr. Yugi Moto / Yami Yugi himself, said, we've updated the number. Everyone else showed up. We're at 3,200 duelists.
Really cool.
An 800 jump from what we were expecting.
Really awesome.
So cool that we had all those people, but the judges, like all the event staff, definitely were a lot more pressed after that many people were there.
Yeah, very understaffed. Like very, very, hey man, feels bad.
Yeah, like
type of understaffed.
Like they were handling it, but
someone can only take so much, and I don't blame them at all.
So now that hindsight's 2020 and I'm able to be like professional about it, it's like that person was doing their job. I can't hold it against them. Feels bad that I felt bad about it. And the guy that I was playing with match 2, and then the third guy, because I obviously looked down, they were like, yeah, they should have been nicer to you about it. But they have the same take. They're doing their job. It is what it is. So
going into game 3, before game 3 or set 3.
Man, your set 3, that was a humdinger.
Before set 3, the online pairing broke.
Oh yeah, everyone accessed the web browser at the same time, and it crashed the site.
We had to all go to the board. It was a mosh pit. Everyone was extremely, like, I'm not saying everyone.
Except me.
Some people were extremely pushy.
Yeah.
And I was
like full on front linemen tackling people out of the way.
Yeah, I was not having none of that. I was like, whenever someone did it, I was like, hey man, excuse me is also pretty nice. I'm pretty sure people will allow you to leave. If you're pushing someone to get in, I get it.
Yeah.
To leave, dude, come on now. People will get out the way.
Walking through.
Yep. See, when I got up there to the front and I got what I needed, I was like, hey guys, by the way, I'm going to try to leave here. Please let me leave. Everyone's like, all right, man, scooting over. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Because why wouldn't you, right? There's a funnel. People can go fill that void.
I'm like, look here, man. Just let me leave. Don't be mean.
Before we get into your match 3, I thought it was goofy because I saw some people at the edge of the crowd put their phone up to try and zoom in.
I was completely okay with that. I was like,
well, no, my thing is, you and I experience this a lot. How good is AI zooming on our phones?
Look, you're not going to see anything. But look, if you're going to try, I'm down for that.
That one's the event board goes, GG, shake my hand. I can't see nothing.
See, I was okay with that. I'm a little sad there wasn't like a person like mediating that.
Yeah.
Like I wish there was very much here's the border. No one crosses this border.
Yeah.
Just so like there's not two guys standing like right here.
Yeah.
To the thing. It's more like, okay, guys, like you guys all can see that. Just look.
Yeah.
You know.
I will say that like towards the middle of that scramble, because everyone had like 4 minutes left to get the information. The website was spotty, but it came back on. So I was able to copy paste my ID and then put it in, and I was able to find it that way. And then me and a couple other people, we walked through all the crowds real quick and said, "Hey, the website's online. If you haven't made it yet, like, get out of the way. Go to your table if you log in."
Yeah.
Because people whose phones weren't strong enough to get the signal, at least they can stay there, and then everyone else can remove themselves from the mosh pit.
Yeah, I agree.
So I thought that was really cool. I saw someone else doing it, so I joined them.
Yeah.
I went to one of the other crowds, then I went to my seat, and I was able to get a good chunk of people to remove themselves from it. So
yeah, that part was a little shaky for me.
Yeah,
so,
definitely. I speculated that it was locally being the page was being locally hosted, because otherwise there's no reason on a regular server that it should have crashed.
Yeah, kind of odd.
Yeah, kind of a, hey, y'all should have had a contingency for this.
Yeah, so going into my set 3.
Yeah.
Set 3 game 1 here. I got to my table. I'm ready. I'm pumped, right? I just lost 2 games. You know, it's comeback city. I'm gonna reverse sweep type of deal, right?
Oh yeah, don't call it a comeback.
You know, I sat down. I'm looking around. Duelists, start now.
It's time to duel.
Right, and I'm just like, hey guys.
You could hear the anime music in the air.
Like, hello, anyone here? The 2 guys next to me are dueling, right? They're having a good time. This guy's asking for what this guy's card does.
A guy blew up.
You know, the other guy just like got ash blossomed right next to me. He can't play. I'm excited. I'm like, whoa, man.
As soon as this guy gets here, woo.
Right. I'm like, all right, there's been a couple minutes. Hey, Judge. No, it's not just, hey, Judge. It's, I'm raising my hand. I'm scanning I'm scanning the room here. There's like 30 of us in my peripherals raising their hand for the same problem. There's no guy there. We have no opponent.
Yep.
You know how sad it was? There was literally like 2 guys sitting right beside each other with no one to duel. They was talking. I was like, man, I wish I was with them. I would have just dueled them.
That's not how this bracket system was working, though.
Right. So I don't know what the code, like the judge written something like some GLHF type of thing, right? Like some acronym on the paper.
It was NS something.
Yeah, well, because I think it's just so if they did come late, it is an indicator for penalty.
Yeah.
So they written that first, and then like a couple more minutes by, I'm just raising my hand, getting my arm worked out for the day. He comes back, he's like, "Oh, just sign that you win, and then just go deliver it in the front.
You got a buy round."
I was like, okay. So, I'm like, I walk over to Lorenzo. Granted, it's like each set is 45 minutes.
So you was standing there for like 30 minutes doing nothing.
I was just standing there like, all right, I'm going to go see what Lorenzo's up to. I think by like the 20-minute mark, you were done?
20 something mark, because we had like 14, 15 minutes until lunch.
Yeah, so after set 3, it was lunchtime.
Yeah.
So we get a 30-minute lunch?
Yeah, it was 30-minute lunch. So we technically got like 40-minute lunch, but we sat down and talked for a bit.
Yeah, so after set 3...
Whoa, let me talk about my set 3, man.
Oh, yeah.
My set 3. I've already said it, but you'll be surprised to know I fought a Cash Tier deck.
Cash Tier.
That's
going to be my new deck.
The guy that I played was very like nonchalant, like kind of almost dismissive, but not like rude about it. Like he was just there, like he was like, "Hey man, I'm just here to play the game. Like I don't really care what happens either way."
Yeah.
But when we were breaking the ice before the round, he was like, "Oh, it's your first YCS." From that moment forward, he was very very nice in the sense that he was coaching me through what was happening. Except for one thing that he flubbed, but just
tried his best.
He forgot the effect of the card, so it's like it is what it is. I did find out that the second player played a card that was supposed to make me take half damage that turn.
Pot of something.
Yeah. And I didn't take half damage that turn.
Yeah, only damage count. Yeah.
Yeah. So I felt a little bad about that. I felt like the game could have gone on a little longer for round 2, but whatever.
Could have got another turn in.
Yeah, and which could have been the difference for me.
Yep.
But the dude was really nice. He was very supportive. He was like, hey, like, I know you're running these cards, but you should do this and this. I'm like, yeah, but I'm trying to do it this way. And he was like, okay, well, here's a couple. Oh, I did tell you, he was recommending different kinds of heroes to me.
Don't backseat game people.
Well, no, yes and no. One of the things was he actually did recommend some hero-specific cards to put in. I need to go look at what they do, but yeah, he was supportive. He was like, hey, man, you know, I hope you do play more, but you know, it seems like you understand you're not going to be able to do anything else if you keep playing the main tournament. So I was like, yeah, you know, maybe I'll do a side tournament. Maybe I'll just hang out. But very cool. That's the end of my experience with the main event. But my take is that every person I played with was very nice. Overall, the experience was really cool. The only thing was the coach that really soured the main event for me. But besides that, like, I had fun. I wish I got to play multiple decks like he did. Like that, if I was to be salty about anything specifically, it's I only played one deck. I didn't get to practice or see how I would compete against other people.
Yeah.
Or other decks, not other people.
Yeah.
But
well, both, right? Yeah.
Technically, because the combos for that deck are the same no matter what.
Yeah. No. See. So after set 3.
Yeah.
You know, it's lunchtime. We step out of the hall. I'm like, hey, Lorenzo, how was your set 3? And he's really like, I wouldn't say upset, like upset, not angry. Like he was very.
Oh no, you missed something because the lunch wasn't right away.
Yeah.
When I was done dueling set 3, there was some time left. Dan Green, Yugi Moto voice for English dub. He was doing signings at 1:00.
Yeah.
And I got in line because I had this nice duel disc I had bought day 1. And I was like, you know what? It'd be cool if Dan Green signed the Yugi Moto duel disc I have. So I get in line, and then Pree's like, oh, do you have any cards for him to sign? He goes and gets me some cards. By the time Pree ended up getting the cards, the event staff had to make everyone leave the line because the way that it worked was Dan Green was only going to do 50 signings per session. So there was a 1:00 session, there was a 3:00 session, and then there was 2 more sessions today. So out of 3,200 people, only 200 of them were going to get something signed by him, which really sucked because I did make it back for the 3:00 signing, but so many people were already waiting that they closed the line. And the judge had told me they weren't going to let anyone line up until 3:00. Like I walked in the door at 2:59, 3:00 hit, line was already closed.
Yeah.
So at 3:00 they called, or at 1:20ish they called lunchtime. So me and him leave, we walk out, and yeah, I was super depressed because it was like, oh man, I lost the tournament, whatever. Oh, hey, I get these cool things signed by a guy that I really idolize because I like voice acting. And then I ended up getting turned away because I wasn't the 0.027% of people that were there.
Yeah, so dude was really upset, not angry.
Yeah.
After the set, as well as after the not signing part.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it wasn't the game itself that bummed me out. It was the judge and the signing.
I was like, man, this poor guy, he looked destroyed. He was over it. He wanted to go home.
I was definitely very sad.
Right? I'm like... Well,
I wanted to go home, but I refused to because I was supposed to meet up with someone.
Yeah.
And you were like, you can go. I'm like, no, I'm here to have fun. I'm having fun. Just a little upset right now. It's fine.
Yeah, so... basically what I wanted to do was whatever we do, whatever matches we win, however matches we win, if we lose 3, we're done.
Yeah.
Like once you lost your 3rd game, like or your 3rd set,
you were unrecoverable. There's no way you could have moved to the 2nd day. Yeah, and even then you had to have a perfect record the 2nd day too.
Yeah, just drop.
Yeah.
That was my rule. So it was okay, he already hit his 3rd one. I got a free win. So I'm 1-2.
Yeah.
He goes, me and him walk out. They sell food there at the convention center. This guy had a deep dish pizza.
Yeah.
Lorenzo walked in and got himself a deep dish pizza.
And some M&Ms.
He's like, Pree, you want to eat some? I'm like, absolutely not. I got a duel.
That was a terrible idea, by the way, on your part.
I mean, I guess maybe.
You were feeling a little yucky at the end there.
Yeah, like maybe would have helped, maybe not. Very, very anxious to just not want to eat.
At least a cold water would have helped you.
Yeah, actually a water. Besides the 2 waters that we drank.
But
yeah, no, so after we finished the pizza, after he got his pizza,
yeah,
I walked back in, just like set 3 where everyone had a mosh pit. Same thing happened for set 4. I had to go into the mosh pit. I sat down at my table. This guy has a really cool Spy Family mat.
Yeah.
Little game mat. He was talking like, hey man, nice to meet you. Let's hurry up and get this over with so I can go do the side event that they got on the other side of the room.
Yeah, because the way that it
worked,
win
something else. Yeah,
the way that it worked is if you place top 250 in the tournament, you won some form of a prize.
Yeah,
but they had side tournaments that you can participate in, and you win tickets, just like a gacha game or like the Yu-Gi-Oh, the Master Duel and Duel Links. You participate in the event, you get event tokens. You can trade it in and get the prizes that are at the event, like the side event prize room.
Yeah.
This guy wanted what's the card's name? Appaloosa?
Yeah,
Appaloosa. He wanted this gamer girl mat.
Appaloosa is a really sick card.
Not
that it looks, it's a really nice effect card.
He wanted the card mat, and he was rushing after I tried to go to the Dan Green signing at 3:00, I ended up going to his table because I knew the number. And the interactions I saw and the interactions he told me about, this guy was kind of rude in the sense that he was rushing Pree so he could go do something else instead of participating in the main event.
Do you know what? I wasn't mad that the guy wanted to do something else. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I was mad that I was getting rushed. I played for maybe 2 minutes per game, or probably 4 minutes total.
You did talk to me
out of the whole 40 minutes. And you're rushing me? You know what I mean?
Pree described his play style as he was sitting there reading his cards for 20 minutes.
Which is fine, right? I'm like, hey, you need to think. Don't tell me that I need to hurry up my thinking just because you decided to use all of our time to think about your cards. Which, to be honest, okay, let's say he's trying to kill the clock. I don't know if you know this, but
you can draw.
You can draw, but how it works is when the 45 minutes is up, it's whoever has the highest life points at the end of that main phase.
Yeah.
So it's, if we're both at 8,000, when the clock finishes, whoever's turn that is, all that guy has to do is do a burn card, and he wins.
Yeah.
He doesn't even get to play out the rest of the duel. I was like, okay, maybe this guy's trying to do that to me. I don't really care. I'm here to play. I'm not really here to win. I'm just here for the experience. Right. I want to win, but I'm not going to be butthurt that I didn't win.
Right.
You know? And I'm not doing anything else after this. Don't worry, bro. You know, like, take as much time as you need. I don't mind.
I thought it was so BM because by the time I got there, we were probably in the last 2 turns. Pree just finished his turn. I sat down because the people next to him had left. And the guy does his turn, and he ends up killing Pree for game. And he said, GG, man. I was hoping that you'd win, though, so I could leave and go do the side event. And in my mind, I'm just like, that's so like, sorry, you're trash. I wish you weren't so I could go do something else.
By the way, I didn't want to argue this. He misplayed. So he said, I'm going to send this card.
Oh, yeah.
To the grave. Actually, wait, I take that back. I'm like, okay, you know what? If that was me, I would hope that the other guy would let me do that.
Yeah.
That's just me. For me, I'm like, all right, you know what? You know, if this was chess rules.
Yeah. No,
I'm sorry. You did what you did and you took your hand off the piece. That's kind of what it. But you know, I'm a nice guy. I'm like, I don't really care. So I'm letting him play that. And I'm like, okay, cool. If I lost because of that, whatever.
Yeah. I saw your cards too. You were set up to.
Yeah, I could play next turn.
Yeah.
But it was very much I won the first game, and then I lost the next two.
Yeah.
The third game was great. I was really feeling it. I thought I was gonna pass out. I was really feeling it. I was like, man, dude, like this is great. This is the heart of the card draw. Hopefully he doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
I was really upset though. So remember how I was talking about the time thing? When game 3 happened, I got to go first because I lost. I said I'm going first. He said, don't worry, I have no hand traps. We don't have that much time, just play. So, with that response, right? If he's going to say, hey, he's not going to negate anything, I'm going to follow suit for the next turn. I told him, I was like, hey, look, I don't have any hand traps or I don't have any negations for you. Just play it. Now, unfortunately, if you do have this thought that a hand trap could happen to you, you would play a certain way.
Yes.
I would put that guy under anxiety.
Yeah.
Kind of upset that, we both are like that.
Took the mind game away.
Yeah, I'm upset that he played it that way.
Yeah.
And I wasn't able to, I didn't have a choice. Not I didn't have a choice, but I'm mad that the situation was put onto me.
Yeah. No, I definitely think quirky dude, very he was very much an oddball, but just I think the sportsmanship was really bad.
Yeah, I was
from what I saw, that's the only thing I really would complain about. It's because I saw the misplay, oh no, I want to do this card. I would have said something, but it's also whatever. It's your final game.
For me, I'm like, bro, we're 0-2 or we're X2 or X2. We're not gonna win the top of the top. You know? This isn't the place for me to argue.
Yeah. So that's why I was but once he did the BM stuff, I was like, dude, that's bad sportsmanship.
Yeah. Overall, I had a really great time.
Yeah, no, very fun event. In the vlog and every time we've tried to record this podcast, we said that we would come back.
Yeah, I would most definitely go back. If we do the tag team one, that would be cool.
We got a guy in mind to take with us.
Yeah, we gotta get him on board. That was the problem. But
no, we need to train him. We gotta get him back in shape.
He gotta want to play. But yeah,
I'll give him this if he wants to go with us.
Yeah, no, what was I gonna say? Jeez, I got lost.
Good event.
It was a really good event. I would most definitely go back.
Yes.
All I wanted was a win. I don't care if I won the
set.
I don't care if I won the set. All I wanted was a round win.
Yeah, no, I didn't get that.
My deck is very much a turn 1 lockout because my deck is the Monarch deck is just a little too old for me to keep up with the new stuff. That's all I wanted. I got that. I got the one lockout that I wanted. That guy couldn't play. He got upset. He was like, no, game 2. And I was like, I'm sorry, what'd you say? He was like, game 2, man. Really upset.
Dude forfeited before he even tried to play a card.
I was like, look, bro, I'm sorry that happened to you. Don't get so upset. That might be the reason why I let him do his misplay. I was just like, you know what? I can't believe I just did that to that guy. Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I definitely had fun. I wish that we didn't pre-register so early. But also they rewarded people who pre-registered really early, so it's whatever.
Yeah, and then we're supposed to, if you pre-registered, you get this coin, and apparently everyone had a coin.
No, that was they were chosen for the bounty.
Oh.
Yeah, those were the bounty people. So they got the special lanyard, and then they got the extra packs per duel.
Yeah. So that was an interesting thing too. So for the bounty, it was they had the guy with the longest name.
The winner of the previous year, the first to pre-register, the last to pre-register, and the first to register.
Yeah.
So
that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what, it was crazy. So when they were announcing these, right, everyone was clapping, and I'm looking around, me and the guy in front of me, my opponent, we were just like, I have no idea where this dude's at, but that's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're in what would be day 2, but just didn't work out that way. Probably gonna go eat some food, go home.
Yep, we got to check out in 20 minutes.
Yep.
So I think this is where we're going to cut this one. If you enjoyed the podcast, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching this on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or however else you listen to your podcast, share it with your buddies. Leave it a like.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we will catch you in the next podcast. See
Later.
you later, buddy.